want some? Hurry up and come get some.
Austin 316 says I just whipped your ass.
Because you're not feeling Lucy?
Austin, are you ready?
What's up, Rust friends? Thank you for joining us on this beautiful Friday morning. How is everyone? How's your life? Tell us everything about yourselves. Leave a comment down below. We'll feature it. What is going on? Rust friend, how are you?
Hello, Rust friends. I'm good. How are you? How are you doing this very gloomy morning? Is it going to rain?
I honestly think it is. This weather's been so wacky this week, Rust friend.
It's
Right
been
now,
weird.
we have our AC on,
Mhm.
but it's kind of cold. And I'm like, I don't think we really need the AC. I get this like 70 degrees. It's not terrible, but it's like raining, not raining, cloudy, not cloudy. And the wildfires in Canada have not been helping. I heard that Chicago's, what is it? Our our air is not that.
Right.
So I know that people are also having like issues with like their allergies and stuff. So I don't know what that situation is.
I did see a couple days ago that we had like the worst air quality in the
That's
world.
That's
In
what it
the
is. Air
world?
quality. I was like, all right, let's not be dramatic.
That's crazy. I know. That sounds a little too dramatic.
But I mean, I guess it could be worse.
No, for sure, Rust friend. For sure.
But
I
how
guess
are
it
you?
can be worse.
How's life?
Good. I just watching wrestling. Can you believe we had 2 weeks of 4 hours of AEW?
I
That's
can't.
it, Rust friend. That's
I
all I do.
guess what? Because I didn't watch them.
I know I'm being fake. Like that's all I do. That's all I watch.
I was
No,
like 4 hours. I
no,
mean,
that's crazy.
props to them being able to run shows like that. And I know it's like scheduling things with like the weekend and stuff. I'm sure it's easier for them to ask for 2 more hours on Wednesday than having to split it up on another Thursday or following up super late shows on Saturdays. But props to them. 4 hour shows. That's pay-per-views right there. They're running pay-per-views every week.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah, I agree.
Oh man, there's so much
There,
to talk about, Rust friend.
there is, there is,
There's been
there's.
so much wrestling, and since we've last spoken, people have come into WWE, people have left WWE. There's things happening on social media. There's pay-per-views that are happening. We are on our way to All In, and we have Kenny and Okada coming up, which we were talking about that feud before we got on. Literally insane. I go on Twitter, and the first thing that I see is Kenny Omega coughing up blood, and I was like, all right. I just logged in. Please. I just opened this app. It's insane. What were your thoughts? Wait, did you watch it live?
Yes, I
Oh,
did.
goodness.
I
That
did.
go?
You know what? It really was surprising because here they are like beating each other up, right? You don't think you're gonna all of a sudden you're gonna watch Kenny Omega literally cough up a bunch of blood. Like this was a ton of blood. And I'm like, AW, you can't traumatize us like this. Like we know he had stomach surgery not that long ago, and you're trying to traumatize us? What?
Exactly.
This
Yes.
friend.
It's always the stress of you seeing a wrestler that you love, or I mean, just anyone in general, like especially after you know that they've had an injury, for
Yeah,
them to like do serious stuff.
yeah.
Not here.
Mm-hmm.
I always go back to thinking about the Women's Royal Rumble where it was Asuka and Nikki Bella, and Asuka was like pulling at her neck, and I was like, "Oh, here we go! Like this is not it. Here for it, lady, calm down."
Oh my gosh, I know you do get a little bit stressed when you start to see a little bit too much blood. I know you're
I
not a big
do.
fan of that.
It's just, I mean, it's so crazy because I watch a lot of like zombie shows, like I love
Yeah.
Walking Dead, I love all that stuff, but seeing it with like your fave people, I'm just like, I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, I mean, on the walking blood, it's what do you call it? Like prosthetic blood or whatever.
Yeah,
What do they call it? Prop, right?
stop. Yeah,
And and wrestling, they cut themselves, or sometimes they really are injured and they're actually bleeding. So I could
yeah.
understand why it stresses you out a little bit. Me, on the other hand, to be honest with you, when a match ends up bloody, I think it's really cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, that one.
You're like, no comment, okay.
I mean, we all feel how we feel about our faves.
Yeah.
So we'll just have to see. Oh my God. There's literally so much that we have to talk about. But I guess we will start with let me see. We got a lot. Kenny Omega, Street Fighter, keeping it on theme with Kenny.
Yeah.
Kenny, I don't even know what happened, how he did it. We know he's a fan of video games. We know he loves Street Fighter. Same thing with Hangman and same thing with the Young Bucks. But my brother, I hear him like in his room and he's like, "Oh my God, I can't believe it." Like I was like, what is happening? What is this man watching? He's very obsessed with video games. So he, I guess, was reacting to this trailer. So much is going on. And then immediately he comes out of his room, comes to my room, and he's like, "Bro, you got to watch this. Bro, you're not going to believe it. Oh my God, guess who it is?" I was like, "What?" And I'm watching this trailer. And I was like, "Oh, it's Kenny. Like, it's Kenny. Like, what's happening? Like, what? Kenny's in a movie? What's happening right now?"
Yeah.
So he starts showing me and he's like, "Oh, like these are characters that are going to be introduced to the game for Street Fighter." And I was like, "Oh, that's so cool that they let Kenny do that. Like I want to know how that happened." But of course, Kenny has like close ties to the video game community, and even if
Yeah.
they follow his wrestling, they follow his gameplay. So 10 out of 10 for Kenny on accomplishing that. I'm sure his resume definitely helped him on getting that trailer. Did you see it?
I did restaurant. I was actually Sergio's also in love with like any kind of video game like that.
Yeah.
And so he was watching it live and restaurant. I legit like Sergio can actually no, he can't confirm because he can't comment. But I legit had just asked Sergio, do you think Kenny's watching like you're watching right now? And like 30 seconds later, the what do you call it? The trailer comes up. I'm
Mhm.
like, what is going on? What is this? And Sergio's like, oh my God, he was just so happy, so cheesy. Um I think that's really, really, really cool too. To see like one of your favorite wrestlers, like your worlds are colliding, right? Even though we're not into video games, it's still like different worlds colliding, and that's really cool.
That's what I liked about it too. I was like, "Oh wow, like now my brother and I are like connecting on this because I love wrestling." And
Hmm.
he was actually like I heard him because he was doing like a live reaction, but he was like, "Oh my God, it's
Okay.
Kenny Omega!" Like, and I guess some people were like, "Oh, I don't know who Kenny Omega is." But my brother knew who Kenny Omega was because of my love for wrestling, and I know who Kenny Omega is because your love of wrestling. So it's just
Yeah.
generational
Yeah.
generational pastime. But shout outs to Kenny Omega for that. I thought that was really cool to see him. Shout outs also to Scott George, who always joins us. Thank you so much, Scott, for watching us. He says, "Good morning, rest friends."
Good
It's
morning, Scott.
me, it's early.
It's it is. Is it? It is a little bit early.
It's a little bit early, but yeah. So finishing up the Street Fighter chat. This is like the year 3 roster, I believe. And yeah, the video got released. Brother was really excited. Sergio was very excited. 10 out of 10. Mario would probably also
Mm-hmm.
be excited. I don't know how.
Mm-hmm.
How he wouldn't, just Kenny's
Yeah.
there. Crazy stuff.
We're just naming the boys. Like I know they're excited. We don't know what's going on, but they're excited.
Sam from the Lucha Outsiders is probably also excited. I don't know. I feel like I used to play Street Fighter. I used to play Mortal Kombat when I was a kid, so I'm more aware of
Okay.
combat.
Yeah, I don't know anything about Street Fighter Restaurant. I don't know anything about all that stuff. I mean, I know a little bit because of Sergio, but yeah,
It is what it is. Shout outs
it
to
is
that.
what it is. Exactly. Good for them. Shout outs to them. Scott George is probably also a Street Fighter fan, and he's probably so happy too. So,
Probably. And if you
you know,
weren't like a video game fan, then you just got excited because you got to see Kenny. So
exactly.
that Kenny loves. 10 out of 10 for Kenny.
As two female characters as well. So that's like he killed
Exactly.
it. He killed it.
Exactly. Next, let's talk about something that was I don't know how the internet really took this the
Ooh.
the second part of the well, okay, I don't know how to start this. Our truth, okay?
Right. Okay. I was like, ooh, what are we talking about?
Our truth. It was announced June 1st by him. He put out a tweet that said, "I'm sorry to inform you all, I just got released from WWE. I want to thank WWE for the ride, but mostly I want to thank each and every one of you who was along for the ride. Thank you for all the love, support, and appreciation you have given me over the years. Thank you." So this got 22.6 million views or impressions on Twitter, and everybody was in shock. I was in
Yeah.
shock. I didn't know what was going on, because I was like, R-Truth has been there forever. Like, he is iconic. He is one of like the staples of WWE. That's like, could you imagine if they let Natty go? Like, what?
Yeah.
That's something that I can't picture. So people were devastated, of course, and they were just voicing their thoughts also on Twitter. Like, all of his coworkers were replying. Trinity was saying, I hate this so much. Ricochet had said, you're an amazing talent and an even better person. Go enjoy your life, Unc. Lexi, Alexa Bliss said thank you. Zelina Vega was commenting, Kalani Jordan, Jade Cargill. Literally, so many people were commenting, and all of the fans were sharing their favorite moments. I'm sure it was a crazy and a difficult time for him to, process all of that, and for fans to also be like, wait, what's going on? Because people were making TikToks, they're making YouTube videos of like, oh my God, like R-Truth was just released. Like, it was a crazy, crazy big deal. How did you feel when you saw that R-Truth was being let go or was released?
I mean, I was also shocked. I mean, first of all, it comes out of nowhere, and then he also just had a match with John Cena. That is like the first thing that I thought about. I'm like, how did he just have a match with John Cena like a week ago, and now they're letting him go? And then someone like R-Truth, like it just kind of doesn't make sense.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's all I felt in the beginning.
Yeah, and I know that there had been talks that his contract was going to expire, and we had not heard anything about renegotiating or something like that. But that match that he had with John Cena, where he was cosplaying as like John Cena's last match, my last time is now. People started to speculate that, oh, R-Truth knew that it was going to be his last match, so he cosplayed as John, who's also having his last year. Like, they were just working themselves up into a ball, I think. But I think a week went by, right? And in the pay-per-view, R-Truth comes back,
Hmm.
and it's literally insane. There's a man who mysteriously comes into the ring, and he's wearing a black hoodie, takes the black hoodie off, and it's R-Truth, and the crowd goes insane. And same thing with the internet, loses their minds. I watched it. I was so mad because I was watching Money in the Bank, and then right after the men's match, I was like, oh, the show's over. I always think that after a big match, the show's over. And
Hmm.
more match with the stipulation, that's always like, oh, well, I call it. And then they're like, oh, there's still more matches. I'm like, what? Uh-uh. That's when I turned it off. And I wish I would have kept watching, because later then R-Truth did return. But then he put out a tweet afterwards, and he said, how? Y'all brought me back. They heard, they listened, felt, and understood. Thank you, Triple H, WWE. And man, thank you, Nick Khan, for allowing R-Truth to set me free. I'm driving now. I am Wrong Killings. I am the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Now put some respect on my name. I was like, oh, okay. You didn't have to tell me twice, sir. Like, it's so crazy because a couple days before, the audiences in the shows, they were chanting R-Truth, or we want
Yeah.
truth. And John Cena took that moment, and he was like, you guys don't want the truth, you can't handle the truth, which I thought was a brilliant play from John, if you're trying to get heat, and if you're also trying to get people to stop chanting R-Truth.
Yeah.
But man, him showing up Money in the Bank a few days later, I definitely thought that this was because of the fans. They brought him back
Hmm.
to the fans, and I don't think
Hmm.
it'll work. What do
Hmm.
you think?
I also don't think it's a work. When I saw that people were speculating that it was a work, I don't think it was. I feel like it is a good way for WWE to save themselves, right? To be like, oh yeah, it was a work. We know you guys. We know you guys. We've been watching your product for years and knowing a little bit of the Cheeseman for years. It doesn't feel like it was a work to me. And then especially after, I don't know if you're gonna bring this up, but after seeing that his son had posted something about that,
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I believe him. It wasn't a work.
Yeah, it's crazy. I guess, fans are weird, right?
Right. Oh, yeah.
And
Right.
I could see somebody make a point. Oh, it was Ricochet. You know, we were there when Mina's music was changed. And I was like, oh, wait a minute. I can't do my little dance now. Like, what's going on? And people went immediately to social media and were like, Tony, what did you do? What's going on? And Mina picked up the win. And guess what? Her old song was back. And I said, here we go. This is what I wanted. And Tony was like, yeah, sorry. Okay, I changed it back. You know, I saw the feedback. There you go. I didn't need to be changed. So he did that because of the fans, right? If Tony didn't see it, which crazy how you're running a show and on social media at the same time, Tony.
I know.
But I get it.
So fast.
You have to have your finger on, what is it? Your finger on the pulse. Is that what the
I
saying
have
is?
no idea, best friend.
Okay, if somebody knows what the correct phrasing is, please let me know in the chat. Otherwise, I mean, I don't know. I guess I'm gonna go with that one. You have to finger on the pulse to kind of just see what people are feeling and what people are vibing with. But I want to say that's exactly what happened here in WWE. They have never received backlash like this before. Even when they do shows in Saudi, right? It's not every single superstar saying something. It's not people making so many YouTube videos, making TikToks, making reels. Like, the outrage was there. And they really saved their asses on this one by bringing him back.
For sure, best friend.
It's crazy.
I know we've seen fans go crazy on the internet because like when they let go of, I mean, when Sasha and Naomi walked out, or when they've let go of all other talent, right? But you don't see talent also speaking up the way that they did for R-Truth, and I definitely feel like that's also what made a huge difference. Um, I mean, I'm so happy for him. First of all, I'm very, very happy for him because I'm sure that's what he wanted. I'm sure he wanted to stay there and keep working. And seeing the way his new character, like the way he's making this work, I'm like, oh, I know that he's enjoying himself, especially more now because this is going to be a different art truth that we know, right? All these years, and hopefully it is something that's like he was giving a second chance or just given another chance, and they keep him now and don't play with his emotions like that again.
Exactly. Don't play with his emotions. Don't play with our emotions.
With our emotions.
I'm not about that life. I am sensitive, best friend. You know this. Okay.
Yes, best friend.
I'm sensitive. So they bring him back, right? T-shirts immediately, new T-shirts, and I was like, wonderful. Push our truth. Like, get it. We've loved him so long. Like, there's been this like comedy aspect. But it's crazy. Like in the worlds where we never thought like John Cena would be a heel. John Cena's a heel. We never thought we would get anything but unserious our truth, and here we are.
Yes.
Like. And this man is making such an impact. I want to say, who was it? It's somebody from Busted Open was saying something about our truth, and our truth was like, "Who is he talking to?" I know he's not talking.
Oh, Bubba Ray.
Our truth was like, "Who is he to tell me who I am?" I was like, "Oh, okay, never mind. Sir, I'm sorry, backing off." Like,
no, literally.
and I love it because he shouldn't have to, as someone who. Like, he's been through so much in the past 2 weeks. You're gonna tell me that, like, you know, craziness has happened, but now people are telling him what he should do, how he should do it. Like, he's been in the game for so long. R-Truth knows what he's doing. Ron Killings knows what he's doing.
Right.
And he went on national television and cut his hair. Like, insane, rest friend.
That is crazy.
You know, like the emotional ties that people have to their hair, what hair means. And for him to do it in front of a crowd, for him to really be like, you need to respect me. This is who I am now. Like, that was so powerful. Jeez.
Yeah.
It's, I don't know. That I have so many feelings. So many feelings. But props to our truth for really working this out, right? It's crazy.
Right, for like going after it and making it work.
Yeah, because you know he would have been booked on the indies.
Yeah,
he could making bank on the indies. So I know whatever they had to offer him to come back or to stay had to have been a good number, and he definitely has new things in his contract, like, which is also crazy, right? Because these superstars have contracts and they're just being let go and released every now and then. So
Yeah.
There's so much that plays into this.
Yeah. I agree, best friend.
Scott, disrespectful. Look at what he said. He was balding anyway. Scott, I can't with you. I literally cannot.
You said I cannot.
I can't. And
Remove the comment. We cannot. We cannot.
comment, Scott,
No comment to that, to be honest.
I genuinely cannot. But what
I'm
I do want to talk about with like superstars being released,
Mhm.
and I don't remember the name of the podcast, but someone was like, well, Endeavor Group is in debt. And
Mm.
I think they were talking about that there's rumors that they want to start looking into Roman Reigns' contract to pay him
Right.
less.
Mhm.
And mind you, I would say, no, I'm Roman Reigns, which, yes, he is Roman Reigns. You can't tell me that man does not make his worth. Anytime Roman Reigns comes out, like,
Exactly.
it's a show.
Exactly. I mean, not only that, but I literally would have been like, no, too bad.
Too
Too
bad.
bad.
You better cut somebody.
No, exactly.
You better stop hiring people. You better pay me.
Right? You better stop hiring these AEW stars and
I
keep my money.
back. Mm.
No, yeah, I definitely would have been like, well, then that's too bad. Like, you're gonna let me finish my contract. That's crazy. Can you imagine someone coming to you and being like, yeah, what they offered you? Yeah, you're not gonna be making that anymore. We're taking it back.
Yeah. So those are rumors that were out there. And I'm sure every time a company buys a company, they kind of are like, hey, this is where we can save money. This is what we can do. And I'm sure, all rumors have a little bit of truth to them, right? I'm
Yeah.
sure you look at the top stars and are like, oh, okay, well, can we justify paying them that? Well, let's do a little bit of research. Okay, so I Googled yesterday. That's what I was doing.
I
I
love
went
that.
and Googled how much debt Endeavor Group has. And
Hmm.
this was through Business Wire. And they only had dates up to 2024, right? So this
Okay.
is not their actual like balance sheet. This is kind of like the numbers that people came up with online, what they could find. They're in debt about $6 billion, which I mean, compared to other companies, you could take it or leave it of like how much debt other people have. But I was like, okay, interesting. Follow with me here, guys, on where this debt is,
I'm
right?
with you, best friend. I'm with you.
Thank you. Endeavor Group, $6.10 billion in debt as of 2024. I'm
Okay.
sure they're less than that now that WWE is making them a lot of money. Um,
Hmm.
but I also was like, let me look up TKO. TKO's
Hmm.
through and this is through companiesmarketcap.com. So they have a debt of 3.6 billion, which is half of what Endeavor has. And now we get to WWE. WWE has only $0.41 billion in debt. So just under like literally what all of them have. So they have the least amount of debt compared to their owners. Like, and they, I feel like, are the most. So right here, you can see that they're the most profitable.
Yeah.
So it's just interesting that superstars are getting let go. That there's rumors of you looking into how much your top stars make. Because you want to maximize profitability, and of course with now WrestleMania being in Las Vegas again, I've talked to you about it before. Like Vegas was so expensive and I know they made so much money. And I honestly don't see another place where they could make as much money as they did in Vegas because
Yeah.
Vegas was 24/7. You didn't sleep. After you had WrestleMania, you had after parties that were WWE's after parties. You
Hmm.
had meet and greets. You had WWE World. And after that, of course, people spent more money on the Superstore. They spent money on merch. They spent literally on hotels and everything. And everything was just so expensive. So I don't see them having a type of success in a place like Chicago.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
my city, and we are getting a new stadium, which we'll talk about that before the show ends. But yeah, Chicago closes at a
Yeah.
time that
Yeah.
we don't go all night. Same thing with California. California's not open 24/7 to 100,000 people. Like That's insane. It's
Yeah.
insane. So I don't know what their next move is for WrestleMania not in Vegas, because if they ever thought they were going to make as much as they made in Vegas, I don't think so.
Right. That which is right, like that makes you, what's it called? Like you understand why they moved it from New Orleans back to Las Vegas. I mean, you can see that this last WrestleMania in Las Vegas, it was huge. Like knowing the amount of people that were there, I could imagine they made a good amount of money. And you know what? This is where I want to like. This is where it makes me think like, man, I just want a joint, and I want to talk to someone that knows about business because that doesn't make sense to me. How a $1 billion company is in debt, or how like in my brain, like how does that even work?
And it's so crazy because, yeah, some companies you win and you lose, and like you make more money than you are in debt. But they, save that money for other things, and then they keep that debt for a little bit. It just depends on like what the company is. Scott is saying that WWE claims that they profited 1 billion last year. They could profit maybe 1 billion last year. We don't know like those exact. Oh, you know what? We can find those exact numbers. I mean, I put them up there. That in as of this is 2023's number. They haven't updated
Right.
for 2024, but that how much they have in debt compared to how much TKO has, which is 3, compared to how much Endeavor has, which is 6. It's crazy. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, it was a little bit less. You can see, total debt was 5.6 billion at December 2024 compared to 5.2 billion on September 30th. It's tricky, but
Yeah.
this honestly reminds me of Joanne Fabrics, which
Right.
I know I've told you the story, that Joanne's got bought out by a private company, and that company put their debt onto Joanne's, so Joanne's couldn't like come back from that debt. And that's what I'm kind of scared of for WWE, is that the debt from TKO and the debt from Endeavor, they're trying to focus on UFC and what other sports they have going on, and they're going to let WWE that's actually profitable, they're going to overwork them because they know that WWE
Yeah.
has money, or if this is going to be the downfall of WWE, because let's
Mm-hmm.
say they put all their debt on them, then what? Now WWE doesn't have $1 billion in debt. Now they have $7 billion. And where are they getting all that money from? Tickets are already $400 to sit in the nosebleeds. Like, what
Yeah.
are you doing?
Yeah. I've had those exact same thoughts, Russ friend, exact same thoughts because you could already feel, I mean, if you're a pro wrestling fan, if you've been watching WWE for years, you could already feel that they're trying to turn it into like UFC-ish, right? The way that they promote WWE by having all these celebrities on there. Um, WWE is just starting to feel different. It's starting to feel more like they're just trying to make money. And especially by us hearing all these little rumors on the side, right? It scares me as a wrestling fan that they'll turn it into something that's not pro wrestling anymore. They're just trying to make a profit and then they ruin WWE and WWE like falls or whatever, however you say that. Um, those have been my thoughts ever since hearing about TKO and obviously how much power they had because they did buy WWE.
Yeah, and it's tough watching. I mean, just when tickets go on sale and you're just like, "Oh my god, this is so expensive." And it's meant to be like towards, it's a family show, so you can't just get 1 ticket. Even us, when
Yeah,
we get 3 tickets, we get 4 tickets.
yeah.
So
Mhm.
it's an expensive thing, and it now seems like it's a luxury to be able to attend a wrestling show. It's not
Yep.
just like "Hey, I can go to this local, wrestling gym." When WWE Live was doing shows and tickets were
Exactly.
$20, that's my first show that I went to,
Yeah.
and it's like, man, everything's so expensive. How are we not allowed to experience that anymore? Like, do we just sit home and watch it? Like, that's crazy.
That's why it feels to me like they're turning it more into like a UFC type of thing.
Mhm.
Like the way they focus so much on, how do I explain it? Like I guess the entertainment part, I guess they're trying too hard to be entertaining and bring in all these celebrities in the ring that we don't want to see in the ring. um I saw fucking Kourtney Kardashian was ringside the other day. I was like,
Oh,
why the
yeah, with
fuck is Kourtney
Travis
Kardashian
Barker?
there? when the fuck have they been there? You know what I mean? So it makes me think like, are they just gonna keep bringing all these random celebrities? And that's what it feels like, because that's what they do in UFC. That's what they do in boxing. Um, boxing also turned into something that's not really about the sport anymore. It's all about the money and how much money they're gonna make, and that's what I'm scared of. That'll happen in WWE.
Yeah,
I know that we still have other wrestling, and I hate when people argue this. Like, well, why are you so mad? There's more wrestling. You know, there's AEW and there's all these other things. Still, why would we want to watch the downfall of WWE? And plus, our favorite wrestlers are in there.
exactly. Like I get it. Yes, I'll go to, we'll go to AEW shows. I love
Of
it. I
course.
also want
Of
to see Seth
course.
Rollins.
Right.
I also want to see Sami Zayn. I want to go see Becky. I want to see Naomi.
Mm-hmm.
Like we have favorite wrestlers all over, and it
Yeah.
sucks that just because they're on this type of roster, this type of show, that we won't be able to see them.
Mm-hmm.
What what I will say is, if they want to continue to be profitable, Mr. Iguana is a perfect way to go. I'm obsessed, Rust Friend. Obsessed. When I tell you, this man came up, and literally the music that they came for in Worlds Collide for this pay-per-view, I'm glad it was on YouTube. 10 out of 10 for them.
Yeah.
And I was like, Lucha all day, every day. Here we go. I've never heard of this man before. Never seen him a day in my life. And he comes out, and I was like, oh, what's happening here? Is that the Boogeyman? Well, first time I was a little scared. But then I was like, oh, he's a reptile. I love reptiles, Rest Friend. You know I do.
You do.
Little iguana on his shoulder. Oh, he had a little iguana in his mouth, and then he would put it on the shoulder. I was like, I've seen enough. Give me 5 right now. I've seen it. 10 out of 10.
Okay.
This only happened with one other wrestler that I immediately see him and I'm just like, wow, I'm impressed. You're gonna be a star. And the other one was Takeshita. So
Okay. I thought you were gonna say Joe Hendry.
I'm
I
dead.
swear I thought you were gonna say Joe Hendry.
No, I love Joe Hendry. But you know what? He's giving Joe Hendry vibes. I see it.
And
But
entertainment wise, yes.
yes, entertainment. And I'm telling you, the first 10 seconds, that's all I needed to see. He did so well with the crowd, Rest Friend, that they brought him to sit ringside
Yeah.
for the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, and people still loved him. People
Yeah.
were all about it. I thought he was super entertaining. Like Yeska, that's the name of the iguana. I was here for it. And honestly, all I saw was dollar signs when he was on the screen, Restaurant. Like super
Okay.
entertainment. I see the kids really loving him.
The kids still love
And
him.
I think people really took to him because he's unconventional, because he doesn't
Right.
look like everybody else.
Right.
He was a little funny, and I'm like, yes, I need a laugh right now.
Well, I hope that WWE fans can what's it called? Can understand and learn that this is what lucha libre is about. Like lucha libre, it's not only luchadores, doing all these crazy things in the ring. There's a lot of entertaining. Like it's what pro wrestling is. Like it's right. Some people, I feel like everyone feels a little differently about pro wrestling, but at the same fucking time, at the end of the day, it's professional wrestling, and there's going to be some entertainment aspect. And I hope that WWE fans learn that this is what like lucha libre and I guess triple A is about. Like, there's gonna be more Mystery Iguanas, just different characters, obviously.
Yeah, and it's very performative, very theatrical,
There you go,
very,
performative. Yes.
very personality.
Yeah.
Like I saw him in there and I said, this is a personality. Like I get it. I'm vibing with it. And I was just like, it was very entertaining. Even my brother was like, hey, like, bro, what's up with this iguana guy? And I was like, bro, you have to watch this. And he was watching Lince Dorado. He's like, yeah, he was performing like moves on him. And I'm like, yeah, bro, like and that was very indie wrestling of them to do, right? For him to
Yeah.
fight the iguana. I was like, we would
Yeah.
see this at an indie show here in Chicago or like a GCW, something like that. Man, it was so fun to see. And apparently WWE took notice when the fans were buying out his merch. Like he was a top seller of the Mr. Iguana t-shirt that they put out, and they were very impressed. He recently did an interview where he said that he was in the performance center and that they told him that you're not coming through here, you're going to the main roster. And I was like, oh, that's crazy. That's like, you had to make such an impression on people such
Yeah.
and I guess an impression $sign wise, right?
Yeah.
That they were like, oh yeah, we got to bring this guy not even into NXT. We're putting him on SmackDown. I think he would do great on SmackDown. We're putting him on SmackDown or on Raw. But he said that he posted a picture with Shawn Michaels, and that Shawn Michaels told him, "You're here because you're the best-selling T-shirt this week and the fastest rising star on the cards all since Saturday." And I was like, oh, okay, for Shawn, 10 out of 10 for that. Like,
Yeah.
they recognize that they really have profits in this guy, and I'll tell you how. Yes, they have the T-shirt, but Russ Friend, do you remember when we went to New Japan and you got the little shoulder buddy?
Yeah.
That's exactly what I pictured. Boom.
Right. Okay, you got a picture.
Russ Friend, because I know you had who did you have?
I have Hiromu Takahashi.
Okay, I was like, yes.
Yeah.
So Tanahashi and Takahashi have one. And
Mm-hmm.
I kept thinking yours was Naito. That's why I was
Yeah,
like,
you thought it was
I
Naito.
was like, oh
I
my God,
wish.
Naito. And I was like, oh my God, it's not Naito. But Naito doesn't have one. I was like, I thought they all had one. Like,
Yeah, no, I know. Me too. I was
all of
like,
them have them.
I legit need a Naito one. He's
That would,
actually back there.
that would be so cute. But this is what I was thinking, right? That they could have a little shoulder buddy of the
Yeah.
iguana of La Yesca. Could you imagine fans walking around with the little iguana on the shoulder? Because I would. Rush
Well,
Friend.
restaurant. I mean, Triple H could be watching right now and just took your idea for sure.
Triple H, you better pay me 10%. I'll take
Restaurant,
5%.
restaurant, he's not gonna pay you.
Damn. Nothing.
No, but I swear if they do come up with something like that, I'm gonna scream. I'm gonna scream. I'm gonna yell. I'm gonna send you a screenshot. I'm gonna be like, "You did it.
Rush Friend, I'm telling you, the first
You
thing I was
did
like,
it."
oh my God, a little iguana, people walking around with at the WWE. Rush Friend, I see it.
Restaurant, now you taking WWE out of debt.
Rush Friend,
Okay.
not me helping them pay for their bills.
Look at you.
This is one idea that I had, and I was like, this would be genius. And of course, you could sell the green glasses. Those would also sell.
The
Man,
green Jolly Ranchers
green
for your
Jolly
tongue
Ranchers.
or blue, whatever color.
Yeah, you can make some like cool jackets for him. Honestly, marketing wise, it's great. And I know he was doing like an interview where they kind of just talked to him backstage, and he was like, I was really nervous before this AAA show with WWE, but he's like, I really had to like talk to myself and be like, well, why can't you be a star? He really had to like validate himself and like what he was feeling, and I was like, damn, imposter syndrome hits everybody. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
it really does. But shout outs to him. I honestly think he's going to do some fantastic work. And he's from Sinaloa. So,
Oh, period.
period.
Oh, that's all I'm gonna say. Damn. Whoa.
Right? Period. I was like,
See, it's because you know what? There's places in Mexico that you can say where you're from, right? And you're like, okay, nice, beautiful. Sinaloa,
that's wild.
Culiacan. Are you kidding? No,
Oh,
he didn't even say he's from Culiacan, right? Pero
yeah, from
that's
Culiacan.
crazy,
Yeah.
my friend. Wait, which one's the state? Sinaloa or Culiacan?
I don't know, but he's
But
like to be
I'm gonna
culichi.
Google it.
He said also, I feel like the adrenaline hasn't stopped. It's every kid's dream to be in the WWE. I'm very busy currently, but for my hometown, I will have all the time in the world because thanks to them to be culichi from Culiacan and to be from Sinaloa, I would not be where I am now.
Oh, he is from Culiacan. Okay, so Sinaloa is the state. Nice.
Love a humble king.
Okay.
10 out of 10.
I'm be like, nosotros somos de Durango, besties, right away.
Besties. Oh, he would love us friends, okay?
Immediately. I think he would too.
But he's one of my favorite things in wrestling right now. Obsessed. And if somebody is watching from WWE, make a little iguana. Make
Triple
like,
H.
I would wear her around the house, Rush Friend.
I'm sure you would. And you know what? I can now when I see reptiles or when I see iguanas specifically or any
Yeah.
are they all just what's it called? Like, do they have another category? Because I know snakes is also a reptile.
Yeah, they're all reptiles. It just
So
depends
just
on I don't
because
know.
like a bearded dragon and iguana, would they be like in the same?
They're probably cousins. They're probably like us, Rush Friend.
Okay. Cousins 30 times removed. Some shit like that. Anyway, I think of you and Chris Statlander all the time.
Oh my
All the
God, I
time.
love Chris because she's got her pet that she takes. Oh my
Yeah. I think of you guys all the time. I'm like, I wish I wasn't a little like scared of them. Not scared. I'm not
Yeah,
scared. I'm just a little bit like I don't know. I don't know. Sound
it's
such a-
crazy. Everyone to each their owns. Mims, good morning, Resties. Love ya. 10 out of 10. Reginald Johnson says, good morning, Rust friends. Isabel, morning, y'all. 10 out of 10.
Morning, guys. Good morning.
It's about the lizard.
Yeah. Just a real quick story. When I was little, I wasn't scared of lizards, and I would actually grab them and scare my sister Miriam with, because Miriam was a little scared of them. Well, she was very scared of them. I would help our babysitter scare her. Yeah, it was terrible. Yeah.
We both have trauma. Me and Mims share trauma from Teddy. I just don't remember mine.
There's a Pierce the Veil song called "Shared Trauma."
Oh my god,
Literally. So there you go.
I'm dead. I'm
Not
genuinely fine.
not they're creepy. I mean, they're cute, but yeah, I don't know how I feel about
Rest
like if
friend,
you told me best friend hold my iguana, I'd be like,
rest friend, we need to go to the zoo together.
I would love to go to the zoo
Let's
with you.
let's all plan a trip. Mims, Isabel,
A zoo
get
date, like
we're gonna go to and pack your little lonche.
exactly, or little sandwichitos. I'm so down.
God, that's our next. Okay, well, we're planning that for the summer.
Okay.
Um,
Period.
okay, let's continue talking about wrestling. Something else that happened in the world was we finally got the debut of Mariah May in NXT.
Yeah.
That she was going to WWE. You know, we had seen the videos of like her at the Royal Rumble. Not recently. This was like back in the day before she was in AEW. But man, it's just it was a matter of time. And people were like, no, she's staying in AEW. And I was like, she hasn't been on TV. What are they bringing her back for? She already said the goodbye match with Tony.
Yeah.
See what else they were gonna do with her, honestly.
I mean, she was teasing, and I feel like they definitely could have obviously done so much with her, but clearly Mariah May wanted to go to WWE. Clearly, like we've been knowing that she's a big fan, and I loved that when when she showed up on NXT, I
Mhm.
saw a lot of tweets that people were like Triple H could have offered her Trident gum, and she would have signed the contract. Like AEW did not have a chance, and
Oh,
it's true. Like you can tell that she really, really wanted to be in WWE.
not the Trident gum. That's
Mhm.
out.
Mhm. Yeah, people were saying a bunch of nonsense like that. It was so funny.
Oh my god. That's kind of hilarious. Jesus. But yeah, so now she goes by the name Blake Monroe, and I believe they said Monroe was the name of her niece, or Blake was the name. One of them is the name of her niece. So that's probably what she like changed into, and people immediately were upset on social media, as they always are, because they're like, "Oh my god, this is giving Tony Storm." They just brought her in to do the Tony Storm gimmick
I
because
mean, it does.
I didn't see it like that. I was like, "Oh my god, this is so cute," because she wasn't, I mean, she talks in an accent because she has an accent. Like, I don't like, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely didn't think about her as a person. I just, as soon as I saw the name, I was like, I mean, it is. Even if that's not why she did it, I'm not saying that she did that because of Tony Storm. It is giving Tony Storm character. I mean, Monroe, that is what Tony Storm is doing. But I mean, who gives a shit? My problem is that I saw that this is AI generated. That's my issue.
Shut up, is it?
That's what they said. They said I don't know if it's
Is it?
confirmed, so please don't take my word. But people on the internet are saying that this is AI. That was what I was upset about.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. Somebody confirm or deny. We should
Please confirm or deny. Yeah.
we'll know for next week.
We'll confirm or deny.
We'll confirm or deny our own. But okay, so I did not know that.
Yeah.
But, when it comes to the name,
Yeah.
I don't have a feeling about the name. I think the animation
Hmm.
is cute.
Hmm.
Or I thought it was cute because it so her thing, her gimmick
Hmm.
right now reminds me of Sabrina Carpenter. Sabrina Pop Girly, she sings espresso for those of you guys who don't know. But this is what she does. She like in her vignette, she kind of had like her towel and she was like opening it and it's sparkle and it's kind of like corseted. Same thing Sabrina Carpenter at all of her concerts. She has like a little towel to reveal her outfit, sparkly, glittery. They're both blonde. Love to see it.
Hmm.
That's where I saw the correlation. Also, I thought this was very old school television, and I love this.
Hmm.
I watched I Dream of Jeannie. I still watch
Hmm.
it to this day, and it gave like blue eyeshadow, red lipstick, blonde hair, very girly, bubbly, animated. Same thing with Bewitched, blonde hair, like red lipstick, teeny tiny waist. I was like,
Yeah,
okay, I see what their thought process was. Like, let's bring in a cute, old school kind of vibe to her, but still like pop princess that we could really market, which I do see them trying to market. And I thought that was a cute little drawing, but I hope somebody drew that.
absolutely.
I hope somebody drew that.
No, yeah. I mean,
How's
I,
your
I
date?
looked at it and I'm like, why would you even use AI for that? Like,
I
I know
know.
so many people that can draw that
Mm,
for $10.
$10 and for a Trident pack of gum.
And for a pack of Trident gum, exactly.
Scott is saying Blake is the name of her niece. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. So she probably got to pick. I feel like much with like Ricky Saints, right? They're probably like, all right, well, can't do Starks because you own that, but
Right.
pick one. And he was probably like, sure, Saints. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
kind of like that. But any final thoughts on Mariah May? What do you think she wants to be the next NXT Women's Champion? And I see it. What do you think?
Oh, restaurant, absolutely. Mariah May. I mean, what she did in WWE for that short run that she was there, she was amazing, like beyond amazing to me. So she's gonna be just like Julia and Stephanie, where they're gonna call her up quick.
I would hope so. People were upset because they were like, "Oh, she's coming in and this is another blonde." I was like, "That's her hair color."
What the heck? Are we just gonna start discriminating hair colors?
I was like, "What do
No,
you
we're not gonna sign you because we have enough blondes.
like?" I get it. I think people are scared that that it might be a little bit close to Tiffany, but I'm like, that's a little hairism right there. And
I
I get
mean,
it, they're like girly pops, but two girly pops can fight.
I was
You
gonna say,
get these big tough heavyweights. You had Goldberg fighting literally everybody who also looked like Goldberg.
I was about to say, best friend, I was about to say that. Well, we have two güeritas that like to dress in pink and sparkle, but no one's gonna talk about all the men that look the same in their chonies. Literally, they
Exactly.
all look the same in their chonies, but we're not gonna talk shit about that.
And they all have the same
Uh,
hair color.
literally, they're all bald,
Yep.
or they all have long black hair. Like
Yep.
there's no in between,
Make it make sense.
and they all wear either pants or chonies, and that's it. Like,
You're gonna tell
the,
me okay, so like different fonts would be like Roman Reigns, Drew McIntyre, Seth Rollins, who else could we possibly throw in there? You get it? Like same like
yeah, 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 yeah. They're like,
kind of
oh, what's his name? Damian Priest.
Damian Priest.
Yeah,
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 like the same.
exactly. Exactly, Restaurant.
Mm-mm.
Undertaker, like the same fucking person
Mhm.
in different fonts, like you said.
Different fonts, and we all love them.
Exactly.
So
We don't say anything, so shut the fuck up about the women.
exactly.
Oops, we're on YouTube.
Oh, on YouTube. We'll figure it out. YouTube will be like, not this episode, ladies, not this one. Let's continue talking about the ladies. We got the recent Money in the Bank PLE, which I didn't watch all of it. I watched one match, and that was the men's ladder match. And I was pissed because on Peacock, I was watching it on TV and you can't
Mhm.
pause. And I couldn't like rewind. And I don't know if my smart TV was just glitching that day, but then they ruined it for me. They're like, all right, let's see who's gonna join Naomi. And I'm like, oh my God, like, thanks. I'm not gonna watch the women's match. How dare you? Like, that's the element of surprise completely ruined.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna watch the match like this the whole time.
You know what's gonna happen.
Yes, ruin the
But you know
fucking
who
show.
wins.
And then I was like, I can't even post this online because people are gonna be like, well, if you're a real wrestling fan, you would watch it from the beginning of the pay-per-view from the pre-show. Should have been watching here for 4 hours already. Like, come on. So
Best
pissed.
friend, it's okay. I tweet and no one sees my tweets. So
Okay.
who cares what people say? We're all on different boats. Some of us tweet and no one sees them, and
I'm
then you can tweet and you're still gonna have people agreeing with you. Who cares?
sad. So Naomi is Miss Money in the Bank, and I'm kind of hoping for a glow in the dark briefcase. TBH, I don't know if we'll ever get that.
Yes.
Still waiting on the Glow title belt, which I think is the most missed opportunity. If WWE is trying to get out of debt or help Endeavor get out of debt, put that belt on there. You know what? They need to hire me, Rest Friend, because I have all these ideas. TBH.
I agree.
Sell
I
the
agree
iguana
with
off the
friend.
shoulder, sell a neon or a glow in the dark Money in the Bank, You did it for Tiffany. You made the whole different briefcase. So
I mean,
what?
restaurant, but then, sorry, finish.
No, go ahead.
Sorry, I was just gonna say, if they're gonna be selling the belt for like $1,200, though, I'm
$1,200.
not,
Oh my
I'm
god,
not sure.
$1,200. That's fun. I will DIY that title myself.
The
Oh,
restaurant regular looking titles are like $800. Can you
we're gonna
imagine how much?
we're gonna take a trip to the Dollar Tree, and I'm gonna get some like glow in the dark sticks.
The neon lights.
Yes, I will make the belt out of cardboard, and we'll see.
No, I believe in you.
See.
How many people have you told that one of your belts back? Wait, it's not. Yeah, right. It's the pink one that you DIY'd.
Yes, I got it
Yeah,
on eBay, and then I painted it pink. Painted it white and then painted it pink. Very,
yeah. If there's anyone that can do it, it's you.
thank you, best friend. I
So
believe in us. We'll go. We have so many, first friend. We got to write that down. Right after the zoo, I'm making a belt.
okay.
But what are your thoughts on Naomi winning? Like she's had this
Oh,
incredible run so far.
I
This
love this for
character
her.
that she has. It's very edgy. It's very alt, and I think it's time for her. Like put a
Yeah,
belt on her.
yeah. I agree. I love it for her. Now take the belt. Give her the belt. Give her the championship. That's what's next. No, I'm very happy for her. I didn't watch the match, but I did see on Twitter when she won, and I was like, nice.
10 out of 10 for her. I'm hoping she
Hmm.
causes complete destruction on the main rosters. I would love to
Yes.
see her and Athena fight one more time. Like I saw Athena in WWE. Um, and rumors. Did I see that right? Is her contract coming up? Athena.
Cena?
Uh, I saw something online. I don't want to confirm it tonight because I love chatting, love chit chatting. No, I don't think so. But I think the general conversation was that when is her contract up? Because I do see that WWE would be interested in having her back.
Mm.
And if
Mm.
I was her, I'd go because
I
why are you
was gonna.
honor for something
I
a lot of people watch?
You know what that is? What sucks about Ring of Honor, that it's not something that a lot of people watch, but the people that do watch, like when you do watch Athena wrestle, it doesn't stop her, like her being a Ring of Honor doesn't stop her from giving like the craziest matches. So I do wonder if she would take going to WWE over staying or not, because I mean her wrestling would not be the same in WWE, but I mean her matches.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wonder.
I guess it depends on how you feel. Like, would you rather wrestle to more people? Because I know in Ring of Honor, I mean, I'm not watching Ring of Honor because I'm not paying for it. And what I pay for
Same.
it, probably not. I only watch it when we go to AW shows and Ring of Honor's there. Which is that cheap of me? Probably. But I know there's people who do pay for it. But to me, that paywall is a big hiccup of why people are not connecting with her. And of course, you're not seeing her a lot because you don't see her on TV. And I get it. There's other places that have um uh like you have to pay to watch things. I'm thinking about like New Japan right now. And people watch New Japan. People have subscriptions, of course, but I don't think that equates to Ring of Honor.
Yeah, I wouldn't know, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you guys let us know if you're watching Athena. But if she's in WWE, I'll watch her.
I mean, that's the thing though. Like, are we really gonna watch her on WWE? Are they really gonna put her on TV as much as we would like them to?
We'll
It's gonna
see.
be could be the same shit.
We'll see. They're interested in her.
Mm.
Our other winner is Seth Rollins, who it's so crazy because the first time that I started watching wrestling again was when Seth cashed in his money in the bank at WrestleMania. And to see him win it again, I was like, whoa, wait a minute. Like, damn, Seth, you really did that. That's crazy. Good for
Yeah.
you. And I
Yeah.
don't know who I thought was going to win, but I'm not mad at the idea of Seth Rollins winning. I really think he's been a great wrestler. I think this character that he's got right now with Paul Heyman, fantastic. I think he's really
Yeah.
been putting in the work. And he's really been one to like continue to reinvent himself.
Yeah.
I love it. What do you think?
No, same as friend. I'm not mad at Rollins winning at all. Like at all. It's gonna be exciting to see qué es lo que va a hacer, because we all know Rollins is crazy.
Oh yeah.
And you never see, like, whatever he's gonna do, you never see it coming ever. So
Um, thank you so much for joining us. I want to say Tegar, I want to say. Ember Moon was fumbled. Athena, long reigns and all. It's like she hasn't had a worthy feud. Yeah, I thought we were gonna get like this longer setup to her and Mercedes, but then the first time she
Hmm.
fought Mercedes, she lost. And I was like, oh, so I hate that kind of also gets rid of like her credibility because like I don't know. I guess you're not going to put the L on Mercedes, but also Athena, like that's your workhorse of the company. Like you brought her in, you made her champion. She's been your longest champion for Ring of Honor. Like, what are we doing here? I would have ended that in a draw.
Yeah, I don't know what I would have done there. I think the match was fantastic.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, that's all I can say about that.
man. It's
I
been
don't know.
crazy week. There's just so much to talk about. There's literally so much that's been going on, so much we don't even cover. Um, but do you have any final thoughts on anything that maybe we didn't talk about? Any comments, concerns? Like what's life?
To be honest, no, Rich friend, I don't.
It's crazy. Love
I
just
I think I think we covered like the little crazy stories on the side already. I mean we're gonna talk still about All In, right, in another show. So for
wait,
people watching and like, waiting for us to talk about AW, that's next week or
that's
something.
another show when they announce the card. They might announce the card 24 hours before the show. Who knows?
I
So
mean,
far,
I know right now they have Kenny and Okada, Hangman and John Moxley, Mercedes and Tony, and that's all I can remember.
yeah. Someone
There
said
might
shut
be
the live
more.
before I get political.
Trust me, I'm trying not to. Trust
We
me.
can get political. I was gonna give a statement before the show started, but we can give it now.
Yeah. Oh, then let's give the statement.
Let's give statements. You want to go first?
I can go first. Fuck eyes. There you go.
It's crazy, and I mean, people will probably be like, "Well, stick to wrestling." It's really hard, even like for me and like work and like different places that I'm at, to continue to go about my day when like the injustices to my people are happening, and people need to see that right now what's going on is a tragedy. And I feel like a lot of people don't have empathy. A lot of people don't have just it's racism. It's honestly what it is right now, racism. And I hope people go out and march on Saturday. I hope that everyone goes and waves American flag so they can see that you are attacking Americans because we built this country. Like
Yeah.
people of color built this country, and it's just insane what's happening. There's a lot of injustices, and I hope people go out and march and make their voices heard, because we don't have kings here in America, and we're not going to have kings ever. So that's what I have to say.
Speechless, friend. I'm with you on that, of course. I think what's going on, the fascism that's going on in this country is disgusting. The fact that people are so comfortable with being fascists is disgusting. And the fact that there's people that are watching families being torn apart over something that the fact that people think it's such a big deal to be living here without any documents, and
Mhm,
that's all these people are doing. They're
mhm,
just here with no documents, and they want them out of this country. But it's not just wanting them out of this country, it's tearing their families apart. It's hurting these people. Some of these people die in these detention centers, never being able to see their families ever again. um it's horrible. And if I feel like if you're someone that hasn't lived there because you don't have family that's undocumented,
mhm.
I don't think you need to in order to be empathetic about what's
Yeah.
going on. But yeah, I definitely think that people's actions, people's lack of speaking up is also disgusting to me. I think it's crazy that there's so many people that choose not to speak up. That
Mhm.
is insane to me. But I do want our restaurants to know that we are definitely for abolishing ICE. Fuck ICE. Um, and we're here for our people.
That's and it's so crazy because like you said, you see so many people and I feel like they are so privileged to not know what that feels like to be judged on your skin color, to be scared of like, is somebody going to come up to me? Like, oh, being next to a policeman, like you don't know that fear, right?
Exactly.
So what's going on right now, I'm hoping makes a difference. Like we are
Me
showing that
too.
we stand for our people and that this is not right. And yeah, a lot of people will say it's going a lot into politics, right? Of like, oh, well, Obama also deported people, but Obama had due process of people. People were
Yeah.
on a list. A lot of
Obama was deporting
people
criminals.
criminals. And right now you're going to Home Depot to go and get people who are trying to work to feed their families at the end of the day. You're going to schools and they're not sending them back to a country that they even knew, to a whole different country, to somewhere we don't know their rights. People are dying. People are missing. And it's not like, I mean, I knew we were always going to say something, but it's insane. It's genuinely.
Yeah.
And if you want to know more about my politics, follow me on Instagram because I post every day something about what's going on. But you guys should know that here at Rest Friends, as two women of color, as two Mexican women, we're not just gonna let what's happening to our people go untalked about.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I think that even if it makes people angry, speak up. I think like I personally been in situations where there's been people that I don't try to change their mind. That's never my point. I don't want to change your mind. I just need you to see things for what they are, because people want to argue like, well, don't come in here illegally and that's it. That's not what's happening here. Like we've said, families are being torn apart, and for what? People that are here working hard that they pay their taxes, that all they do is focus on their families. I will never understand what people have against that.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, I feel like it's something very hard to talk about in the moment because there's just so
Yeah,
many
there's
feelings,
there's so many
so
thoughts.
many feelings.
Maybe we'll write something out and like put it out there.
Yeah,
Um, but if you do want to educate yourself more, there's a couple of YouTube channels that I can recommend. The Midas Touch on YouTube, they're great. Brian Tyler Cohen, Luke Beasley. Um, I guess I can put like a couple stuff on our YouTube, but iHip News, I've had it podcast. They are really places that I follow and networks that I go to, and they'll tell it how it is. They'll show you what's happening. They'll update you on what's happening right now in our political world.
yeah,
And I do think that someone, at least if you don't see a certain side, watch a couple videos, just
yeah,
look some stuff up. It's okay to change your mind on how you
yeah,
feel about something, right? It's okay to also say, oh, maybe I didn't know about this, but let me educate myself a little bit. Let me go and try to find something. That's completely fine. As long as you know and are aware of facts and have empathy, I
mhm,
that's getting you closer to the right page.
yeah. If you're also stuck on not knowing what to do, if you feel like you want to do something but you don't know what to do, go up in March, go protest. And if you can do that, donate. There's so many families that need money so that they can help their parents come out of these detention centers, or they can just have a safe
Lawyers, yeah.
lawyers, exactly. Or some of them are going to get deported, but they just need a safe travel home back to Mexico, because a lot of these people, I think what people don't understand, that it's not just arresting somebody, taking them to a center and then dropping them off in Mexico at their home. That's not what's happening here. There's been so many horrible stories of, like I said, people dying in detention centers, or people that do make it out of the detention center, but they're dropped off in the middle of nowhere of Mexico without a ride, without money, without a phone, and they just have to fend for themselves and get back to their countries on their own, right? So if you don't know what to do, like I said, go protest. If you can't go protest, donate to these families that need your help. And if you can't do that, just share the word. Speak up.
Mhm,
Speak up about how you feel. Put it on your Instagram stories, tweet about it. That makes a difference. I know people think that speaking up doesn't really do much. It makes a huge difference. You never know who's gonna see it and gonna be like, you know what? You might be right.
mhm. Well, thank you guys for listening to our little politics session. Thank you guys for listening to our podcast. Thank you for always supporting us. And you know, this is extremely important to us. This hits home. This is our people. So
Yeah.
we yeah, I mean, we're always going to
Our
continue
mo-
to speak up.
our morals will always be above anything that entertains us, basically.
Period. And we'll leave it at that. So thanks guys for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.
Bye, friends.